Ah, Dada Pola, better to work than now, get outside. Ah, Dada Pola, oh, the been there, get outside. Mommy, whoa, Papa, whoa, Papa, whoa. Ah, Dada Pola, and Dada Pola, Dada Pola. Papa, you got that way. Papa, you got one way. Papa, come out, get outside. Saya Pola, my Jesus, Papa, get up and play. My Jesus, Papa, get up and play. My Jesus, Papa, get up and play. Dada Pola, Dada Pola, Papa, you got away. Papa, you got that way. You love it to my friends, you want like to me. Ah, Sarah Pola, oh, Bobby, whoa, Papa, whoa, Papa, whoa, Papa, Pola, my Jesus, Papa, Papa, play. Dada Pola, Dama Biena, Damo, Dama Biena, Damo, Dama Biena, Dada Pola, better to weapon now, get my side. Say open, I will get my side. Dada Pola, oh, Libe, Adawa, too much another way, boy. I got say no, well, Dabi, Dada Pola, yo, Dabi, Dada Pola, yo, Dabi, Fanga you find you got that away, yo, Dabi, Papa you find your Paggy, yo, Dabi, Benny, I will get myself, yo, Dabi, go up in the I will get myself, yo, Dabi, Juicy Benny, I will get myself, yo, Dabi, oh, yo, Dabi, yo, Dabi, oh, sorry, no better. I'll get on that. Dabi Pola. Get it out. Now get it out. Now get it out. Now get it out. Now get it out. New red. Now get it out. Dabi Pola. My brain now. Never now. Ready to burn now. Dada Pola, Fanga you find you got that way. Everybody get our own hero. Down to the police. Let's go to AP Johnson. Down to Ali. Cameroon. Down to All Star. To all the money. My hero, yes, my hero, 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 my hero, yes, my hero. Some people got a hero to make their market. Some people got a hero to make you. Your hero is your hero. My hero is my hero. Take a hero. Now my 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 hero. Yes, they're going to be show. What about your way? Because I'm mad you did. I was saying, go. See your fancy. Everybody got a hero. Oh God, you know, your hero is your hero. Some people hero to make a market. Some people hero to be up and down in the street. Some people hero to pay the sign of me. I got my hero, his music hero. Over, I say, now my hero, now my hero, now my hero, yeah, now my hero, yeah, now my hero, yeah, now my hero, now my hero, yeah, now my hero, now my hero, yeah, now my hero. Yes, I'm telling you today. Time for all the men of their life. Go to Mwasa, Kalahera, Fadiga, Kalahera. See you, Senator, Kalahera. Representative Marshall, Kalahera, I say. Oh God, no. Now my hero. 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 Some got a hero to make market. Some got a hero to be up and down. Some hero to cast people. Some people hero to be selling market. All the people hero to be up and down prostrate. Now my hero. Now my hero. Now my hero. Now my hero.
Welcome every one of you guys listening to us at this time at my Nelson Abraka Talk Show. And let me first of all say that I don't have a copyright to this music. I have absolutely no copyrights. I will recognize few individuals before we start the ball rolling. Josephine Molly, good evening. And Jacqueline Washington, good evening, my friends and sisters. Good evening, my friend. Good evening.
To me some people hero to sell their market. Some people hero to up and down. Some people hero to go to
see the one. Good evening.
That hero. And my
friend and brother Edwin Clark. Good evening.
Everybody got a hero here. Look at that one, sir. Fadiga. Just go to OJ. OJ guy, you know, hero.
Let's start the ball ready now. I see one colleague, you want to come on the show. That's not the way we can do it here. We can invite our audience on the show on every Friday. So I hope that you'll be able to tune in for this coming Friday, so that we'll be able to have you on. But before that, let us bring you a few clips so that you may be able to see what we do here. Yeah. That I'll be able to bring you a few clips so you'll be able to see what we're doing here.
Where is Joseph Boaka? Where is the Jeremiah Cool that we elected? Where are those people? We did not elect them to be suffering in our own land. I hope they will hear this very loud and clear. I'm not missing my word. When I first came to this company in November of this year, I understood that the issue of slavery is customary at the Chris Vending company. The workers are working in a toxic environment. What do I mean? It is very appalling to be working for 12 hours as human beings standing on your feet. There is something they call stoot. If you continue working like that, you will suffer from stoot. There are other people who suffer from pie in the near future. There are other people who suffer from stroke in the near future. There are other people who suffer from eyes problems because there are no protection. The workers here are not being fair. The environment is so unconducive to the extent that I don't really know if I lament my heart every day to see Liberians suffering in their own land. How can people be living like have blood running through his blood veins? Will be living and working for a company and then they can't even eat food. But the Indians will go for breakfast. The Indians go for lunch. The Indians eat their supper or dinner. We are working here. The only food that I remember we have eaten here from November to today is water. It's water. It's very appalling.
It's a stress within here. Within heat in the Indian people here, and within the heat in our black people here. For now, nobody to advocate for us because our HR serving us on trial here now. So we frustrate. We not even know what to say. We leave our children home, come work here over there, we go home, frustrate. Within the 1 or 2 hours, only water we drink. And for me, I don't know my salary before I'm talking about anybody. Anyone they put your hand out here. Because you live a family, anyone you accept, that's why you should get it. When you get money, you're not eating. They want to not go down, not someone fitting what for you. It's not easy. So we're looking for somebody to come for our rescue.
I don't know the reason for we elect our people. We have representatives of our county. We have representatives that represent all from districts in Pembazo County. We have senators. We have a strong protein that stays on behalf of the people. But I don't know if you are not hearing our craft. Since then, we've been crying here and there. Imagine up to this time, you can see one lawmaker coming in the place. When Johnson came there the last time up to now, nothing we can hear from him. Other people have just there, other people press court, and we still nothing coming up. We still suffering. We still only going the same thing. Imagine we still drinking Igbo, dirty water on the place there. Well,
we left from here, we're going to the Monrovia Central prison. How can a move and object in motion be obstructing traffic? But because when they hear the name CDC, you know the president said that he will erase CDC. He said that.
Who's the president?
President Boakai. His own record that he will erase the CDC before 2029. And want to say to him to erase the CDC, meaning you'll be erasing the entire UP. We're not sit here and allow ourselves to be slaughtered.
So
the cow.
What would be done?
What would be done? The CDC will protect ourselves. This place will be here beyond 2029. We know the game that the regime is playing. They will not use them stuff. Then they come facing us. No, we remain here beyond 2029. I'm saying to you today, the CDC will remain at this premise beyond 2029. You are covering most of the stories.
Legal means, are you fighting
the scene where no, the CDC have been here for more than 20 years.
Resistance?
No, we have been cooperating with the properties owner. The CDC is not a UP who was thrown out because they refused to pay rent. We have been responsibly living here. We have been dealing with our legal procedure in living here. Our landlord and us been in good terms until now. That Mr. Boaka, who said he will erase the CDC, is using him now to implement a court order or a court opinion, Supreme Court opinion in 2016.
When the UP was being invaded from its headquarters, there was some speculation from opposition that the CDC was behind this.
Also,
do you, in the past, did you agree with that? If you are saying that people within the UP are also behind
no, speculation about CDC. Mr. McLean served as minister under the UP regime. Mr. McLean and the CDC got no relationship, even prior to his death. So we don't have relationship with the McLean family. But for us, when you look on the social media, what are the people that are talking about CDC moving tomorrow, the after tomorrow? They are all regime propagandists. They are not the owners of the land. They are not the owner of the property. Look, see the place. We talk about the place. We develop the place. There's a procedure in removing people that have spent a long time on your properties. But that is not the issue. The issue here is we sat down and saw the regime cooperating with some lawmakers to target certain group of lawmakers. All of us here. The first day the president appeared on the ground when the building burned, what the president said, we will prosecute the hooligans. What informed the president's decision to know that hooligans burned the place? From there he said it was an awesome attack. The president had done no, according to a profile. He has nothing like even a paper bearing that day training in fire service. He's not a fire investigator. He compromised the investigation. 2, all the lawmakers they're inviting, no member from the majority bloc have been invited there. Even though they're on record for saying that they brought the trouble on the grounds of the Capitol. You heard Speaker Kuhn in West Point. You forgave her for causing trouble up the Capitol Hill. On the day, the eve of the place, the eve of the incident, current senator now, former representative Coker were on the ground up to 11:50. The 2 seats that they used in section, it was in our chambers. The play got burned, but the seat appeared inside for section. They brought fire investigators from America. They refused for the people to speak to the press upon arrival, and they refused for the people to speak to the press upon departure. So everything they did down there, it was a political calculated plan to wage hunt the CDC in an intimidated strategy to think that you can fear the CDC before 2029.
I will see the ginger who walk on here. On all the ring, now someone will be up. They both can be laughing and all you say, the Cindy, the some minister can be laughing and say, my market getting watching, people not buying. Who fought for Joseph Parker who say, things are coming before. Now someone fucking they can be for me. But we're going through it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. It will be better.
Thank you.
Okay,
thank you. How is business?
Yes, very rough.
Why make business work?
Because they're not repaying the people. They're putting it taking pay. They're not buying. And they put the sack. Don't work for the people. They are such a very paying the people. Their market, their future was selling. We should buy some 4,000. We're buying 8,000. Their market, buying 3,500. They're buying 8,000. So it's not easy. They're coming out me well for all. They're doing nothing good for all. They're particular for me. And they're not easy in that. Everything is far. If you for send the money account, I will sell 40,000. That's it.
Amen.
For send the money account, that's it. So because you will buy 3,000, we're buying 8,000. Or go to the money for the people to say, you're coming for hard task for all. They put hard task for all. Yeah, they have to say if the market is very hard.
How is business?
Then when they cancel, so how much you call it credit run away because they can't get it.
Amen. So what you want to tell the government now? What you want to tell the government?
Let me remind you, Africa remains attractive. Why is Africa so attractive? Throughout the ages, it has always been attractive. It was attractive to the Portuguese and the Spaniards, but I'm not going to say that. It was attractive to the Arabs, but I'm not going to say that. It was attractive to the Jews, but I will not say that. What I'm going to say that is attractive again, it is so attractive that every 2 years the Japanese call our leaders to Japan. That is how attractive Africa is. They call them to Japan in order to discuss how Japan is going to work with Africa for the benefit of Africa. I do not believe it. It must be for the...
Let me welcome other Yigato and my Nelson Abraka talk show here. We discuss the truth and nothing else but the truth. Let me go around now for me to be able to bring out my panelists. Friend and brother Anthony Gay, ANC nationalist.
What's up, my man? You ready for me now?
Yeah. We are ready now. I strongly believe that. But how was your day?
My day was very good.
Okay. So let us dive in. Let us get your opening statement, and then from there, we'll dive into the issues.
Yeah, I look forward to a spirited, discussion to discuss national issue pertaining to our country and our people. I always found that very interesting to discuss the issue void of personal feelings, emotions, and political biasness. I would like to discuss the issue. That's why, even though yes, I have a political party, but I'm a nationalist. I believe in nationalistic approach to things. It does not necessarily has to do with my political party, positions on things. If it's in the interest of the Liberian people, I'll support it. So that's how I see politics. If the current administration is doing things that are in the interest of the Liberian people, I definitely support it. I'm not against everything the government does. I want this government to succeed. So if JMB succeeds, Liberia succeeds, we all succeed. But if this administration also heading the wrong path, we will not be, afraid to speak the truth, to tell it as it is, and that's where I stand.
All right. Okay. That's where you stand. Okay. All right. So let us dive into the issues. I mean, let me play you the first clip that we have here on file. Let me be able to play you.
When you're playing the thing, it can be so low. I don't know. Check the device you're playing from and check the volume because it can be so low. Anything you say right now, I can hear it clearly.
Yeah,
but I can hear it, but it can be so low.
It is because you was in a bag.
Okay.
Was because you was in a bag. So
okay, let's try that. If that's gonna be clear, that's good. I just want to clear that out.
Yeah. Okay. Let's bring it guys.
At the end of the day, I just want to make sure that the law took its course. If you lock up, if you slander somebody, you should be man enough to defend it. I work hard for this reputation I have. I might not have the money today, but I spent all my life in public service. I just got private service not too long ago. I went to America, I joined in public service. I came back home, I was called to come back home, but when I joined in public service. You can't behind that record and tarnish it because you got the luxury of the microphone. And then you got the newspaper, you got friends, so you can slander somebody and go for impunity. I said no, because I work hard My grandfather told me to be very sincere. Since I've been in this country, you know, I've never had the chance to be in any corruption scandal. You can say all you want to say about me, but you'll never see me going to take government stuff. And no, that's not how I am. So these kids will come to Liberia. You had a chance. You spend the amount of time you spend in America, I spend the same amount of time. And my brother, you come here and want to drag me into your nonsense. I thought the best way, I thought the government apparatus, Aristotle would have done it. He didn't do it. So I said, okay, go to court. I went to court. I requested them to come to court. They were the evidence they had. Since they could not produce the evidence to the government institution, they refused to come there. What do I do?
Mr. Kuma, it is how you want to set precedent.
This is precedent. This is precedented. This is a. Today I said the wheel of justice was very, very slow. But now I'm once more a believer of justice in our country. All right. The fact that this guy walked here, this guy should have walked in here with this guy. I don't know why you're allowed the guy. You should have walked in here in handcuffs, because he's basically violated the law. So, well, we'll see.
What is it violation? What sort of violation he committed?
Slander is a violation. Slander and libel is basically is an issue that we as a people will not allow other people to do to other people.
So I'm basically aware.
It's a violation of civil procedure. That's a civil law.
I'm basically aware that the sheriff went at his office. The minister found out, but he refused to come along. Is it true?
That's the same arrogance. He went to he said he got some consultancy. I don't know who would have given this guy consultancy under the given situation, knowing where he is. But yeah, he got consultancy because he got this high situation. So he got it. So okay, some were trying to find him, we couldn't find him. Somebody told us he had a consultancy from the government at the Ministry of Finance. So we went there. The sheriff went there and they saw him there. He wouldn't come. He left his office there. He went to the deputy minister's office. He stuck there. So we're using the deputy minister as a shield until the court demanded that he be let go. That had to push him outside, and then he was arrested and come to court.
Mr. Kuma, looking at the Fadiga brother, do you think this money question, can they afford to pay?
That's not my worry.
How much total again are we discussing?
$1.6 million, and then he had court costs. He got a couple of percentage for the court. That's not my worry.
Do you think the Fadiga brother can afford 1.6 million?
I'm not worried about that.
United States dollar.
The law will take its course.
In this country.
The reason he's in jail now because of the same old situation. You should have known that you don't do this in this country and go scot-free.
One may say, why can't you drop the case? Because
why?
I mean, justice prevailed already.
What is justice?
I mean, they have been found liable.
So the justice said when you find that justice set aside remedy. Have to be indemnified, have to be made whole. Okay. So that has not been done yet. So justice has not been served.
So until this money can be paid in full, justice has not been served.
Every percent of it will have to come.
Okay.
As you say in Lima County, every couple will have to be paid.
So how soon we hope to see this money paid?
I don't know. This is the beginning of the process.
Will it be paid? Will it be paid by installment or paid in full?
Now, I will leave that to my guys, to my legal team. I've spoken to my legal people.
Which are the brothers here? Because we have so
Hussein is here. Okay. The lab mob guy that always on spoon network. The lab mob.
That's Hassan.
That's the Hussein that is here. Hassan is the guy that I had the DA. That said I recommended him, but I didn't call him. So that's why it is going on. Let me go in there.
What that fucking shit in my face? I will get your ass. What I said
So welcome, folks. So Hassan Fadiga, or Hussein Fadiga as he's called, he's been sent to the Monrovia Central prison. As you see, he's being escorted from the court. So he's expected to spend his first night at the Monrovia Central prison.
tonight. So his brother to Hassan Fadiga, and they say who's it Fadiga. So here is it. So he will. So that's it. So he's expected to spend his first night at the Monrovia Central prison. He's being escorted by sheriffs, taking him at the Central prison. You go. Yeah, let's go inside. Call again. Yeah, go. Call one. Get busy. You're winning $10,000 or $20,000. Yeah. So we are headed to the Monrovia Central prison. That was me. Baby, I got 03 hash. Let me use that sign. Use that. Use that. Where you use that? So, as you can see.
All right.
Yeah. Anthony, what do you make of this?
Yeah, hold on a second, camera. Yeah, go ahead.
What do you make of this entire Hassan and Abi Kroma?
First and foremost,
Usin is in the country, and our Fadiga is our Hassan Fadiga is out of the country. What you made of this?
Well, let me say this, right? First and foremost, it's a civil case. Abi has every right to sue whoever he thinks, liberate his character and all of that different thing. I am not against it. I'm not against the fact that Abi talking to court and all that different. That is his right. And I think as it stand right now, the court have ruled in Abi's favor. My only thing with the whole thing here is that, especially with the last portion of the video you just played, Abi is a person who have held higher government positions in the country.
Mm-hmm.
As far as defense minister of the republic, before his most recent post
I know that.
Yeah, the interim government under Julian Bryan, he was the defense minister. You understand? So this is the guy who are working law enforcement for, like, if it's not 2 decades, almost 3 decades, if I'm not mistaken. I saw something from Abi that I continue to see from him that is very problematic, and that is he is very temperamental. The thing they call professionalism is not in his playbook. Unfortunately, I don't know him. I've interacted with him once on the closing argument, asking a couple of questions and all of that stuff. But what I've gathered from him is that you don't allow a person to take you out of character just by giving you the middle finger. I think you have seen a lot, and being a professional in that field, from a security perspective for that matter, somebody who has been defense minister, that's one of the highest positions of the country. For you to be going to tit for tat for people, dude, you won your case. Wait until the man registered your money. Why are you following him from one place to another? What do you care whether you go to Central Prison? Doesn't go to... If the Fatiga brother talk back to you, say things to you, keep it moving. Keep it moving. Where is your professionalism? And when that whole saga took place at the LDA, that's the exact same thing that I said. I saw the LDA, former LDA leader, who was then the head of LDA, of that agency, who did not exemplify professional discipline in the workplace.
Oh, really?
Yes. Look, let me say this to you, Abi. the circumstances here is that.
No.
No,
Akami,
hold on. You will come. You will come. You the host. Hold on.
No. Let me hold you. Let me hold you there. Let me hold you
Okay.
there.
Because the
Are
man
you
came on the
saying?
show, we interviewing, so I'm speaking from that point.
So are you saying that AB did not show professionalism when he asked someone to not be able to enter in his office with a gun, and the person do so, and
First,
the
that
other?
no. Let me say this right. Let me say this. So it didn't just start with the gun issue. The
I
gun
know that.
issue, yeah, the gun issue now, when things have already gotten out of control now, that's when the gun issue happened. Let me say this to you. When you make friends, it is what you permit that what that friend will do. You set the tone of your friendship. If I walk into your house right now, I start doing certain things that are not in line with your standard in your house. If you don't put me in check, I will continue doing and doing and doing, and will come to the point that I will take over your house. AB is the head of the agency. Yes, Fadiga was appointed by the president, but AB is the head of agency. Guess what? He sets the tone. You understand? He sets the tone. If you recognize that Fadiga is doing something that is completely out of the scope of that's what I asked him the other day on the show. That what is your SOP? Because you should have your SOP, standard of operation procedures. That's what you should have. How your office is ran is determined by you. How that bureau is ran, it is determined by you. And every other government appointees that come along, that protocol, that standard, that onboarding, that acclimation, they have to be acclimated to that system in place. And I believe that every government ministry and agency in Liberia has an SOP. I don't think there is not a SOP to an agency or ministry in
Don't
Liberia.
don't you think you are in error in order for you to be able to say that AB
Because
Kroma
the man
followed?
came on the
No, no,
show from his own explanation.
I'm not going by what you guys say on your show. I am saying I am following the legal. I'm looking at the legal aspect of the whole case. AB Kroma went somewhere to eat, which of course the Hassan Fadiga go to the same place to eat.
Okay.
And AB passing, AB overheard him.
Yeah. Throwing
Insulting
jab at
him.
him.
Yes.
Okay. What do you do?
So AB is someone who does not have feeling, right?
Okay. Again, what will it cost AB to ignore him? He already won the case. What will it have cost AB to have ignored that guy?
Yeah.
Look,
So
let me say
that is
this
the
to you,
reason.
right?
That is the reason. That is the reason why I strongly believe that a brother is languishing beyond bar right now, or if not, he has sent out a bail bond, and in order for him
That
to be
man
free.
been released long time. The man even spent 2 hours down there. The man been released. Whatever phone call he made, whatever the releasing, whatever the case may be, he's been released long time ago.
Yeah, but in other sense, let us be able to look at it in a civilized way.
But
When
AB, I am
damaging,
not disputing the fact here, right? Go ahead. Let me let you learn.
damaging someone's character, malicing on AB character. AB had built his character. It did not take him 1 year. It did not take AB 2 years, neither 3 years, neither 5 years. This brother have been working tirelessly in the interest of the Liberian people. This brother have a security firm in the country, which of course the Liberian people, some big government official can go to him for him to be able to provide a maximum protection for them. So if the brother sit down and someone who spent years and years in this country who just go and malign and tint his character. I strongly believe Avi did the right thing by him going to take them to the law. And by the way, I am friendly with the both parties. I'm friendly with Hassan, me and Hassan and Hussein Fadiga. We are been together always here in Minnesota, and we have gone to my sister place and thing. The AB Chroma, I know AB Chroma to my fingertip. So I am just saying, in order, gone are those days in our country where someone will be able to damage your character and just say, okay, let it just go. No, it is not done in that way. Go ahead.
So, AB, I established that. Let me say that again. Maybe if you didn't get me, I got no qualm with AB Kroma suing the Fadiga brother. I got no qualm with that. You understand? I don't frown upon that. It is his right. And guess what? The judge had ruled in his favor. He won the case. They asked the Fatiga brother to register the man $1.6 million. You heard him say that. My point that I've continued to make and standing on today is that, according to AB, that last video you played, when he went in the place, Fatiga threw a finger at him. He gave him the middle finger. We all know what the middle finger means. All right?
No, me cannot eat.
No, we know what middle finger means in America. We already know that. I'm not going to say it out of my mouth yet. But just for the sake of the conversation, he gave him the middle finger. Right? AB, you are won the case. There's nothing. This man have gone around maligning your character. You sue, you won. What else? You think that man will see you someplace and not say something? He will say something. Are you gonna go out of character because somebody throw you a middle finger? Are you serious? This is where I will not pretend, Abraham. I will not pretend. I will tell you for a fact that action did not speak good of him. That action also backed my point of his unprofessional behavior in public space. You are the head of agency. He should have lost his job. Had he controlled himself, Fatiga would have been kicked out and he still had a job today. I'm pretty sure he regret that action. I'm pretty sure he had an intention to fight drugs in Liberia. I'm pretty sure that everything he was doing, he was trying his best. You know one thing you can teach? You can't teach character. You can't teach it. You understand? You can have all of your accolades. That I don't know, and I said I think I wrote on Spoon today. Who have vetted this guy in all these higher senior level positions he have held? Because one thing has remained constant with AB. He's very temperamental. He has displayed that countless time. We have seen it. For a person of his background should have rose above the occasion and remain professional, especially you have won the case. Keep your head up. Whether the man gave you finger, he doesn't give you finger. Keep it moving. If I were him, I would have avoided that place. If I knew Fatiga out there, I just walk away, go somewhere else. Don't want to be bad on him. The judge already ruled in my favor. That's it. Look, it will not change his name. You know when I get pulled over in the country, I don't do. Why you pull me over? Why you did this? I keep my hand on the wheel. The police always say, "No, relax yourself." I said, "Sir, I'm fine with this." No, but relax. Take your hand off the wheel. I said, "Sir, I feel comfortable this way. If you don't mind, can I keep my hands on the wheel so you can see both of my hands? So tomorrow you don't write that, oh, you didn't know what my left hand was doing or what my right hand was doing." Then they laugh about it. But I'm serious, right? My hands will be on the wheel. I don't want that police officer to feel threatened. Does that make me a punk? No. I don't want him to be intimidated to think, oh, this is a black kid or black young man. And no. Guess what? My hands will be on the wheel when you can see it. And I always get that. Oh, relax yourself. Relax yourself. I always get that. Oh, sorry, you don't have to put your hands on the wheel. I'm like, sir, If it does not bother you, may I keep my hands on the wheel? Most often, guess what the conversation
Okay.
end up doing? You can have a good day, sir. Keep it moving. They will get let me go. They will not even take my driver license. They will not ask because I kept my hand on the wheel. AB,
Okay.
my grandma always said, hmm, "Dead body cannot speak." She used to say that. If you can avoid certain situation, just avoid it. It's not going to take a penny out of your name. It's not going to cost you anything. Just avoid it. Sometimes in that moment you'll think that, yeah, you the man. But after a few seconds or a minute or two, you realize that it was not worth your time. AB did not deserve to be let go the way JMB let him go. Had he thought about these things, I even asked him, what was the communication method between you and the Fadiga? You and the deputy? Was it an email chain? Was it a verbal communication? He said it was a verbal communication. I said, you err. You're supposed to have a paper trail or email communication documenting every encounter you guys have had. What you told him, what did he tell him? Because when you send an email, a professional email, an email that is not angry, that outline everything you want done, and letting you know, oh, you went to this place, you did X, Y, and Z. We have had this conversation as per our conversation X, Y, and Z. There's such and such and this. We have this communication. I'm just writing you now so you can understand this. Going forward, we should do better than that. Bum, 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 bum. That timestamp is there. You communicated that. The next time again, bum, 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 bum. Again, the next time. By the time they reached to that point where the gun thing had, because you know what happened? When it reached to that level, it was AB word against Fatiga word. His words against Fatiga word. There was no documentary of the email trail. You understand that? So guess what? What Fatiga says, what AB said,
They just allow both of them to go. That's it.
yes. But if AB had a proper documentation with a clear-cut email conversation between the two. Look, this other day you did S, Y, and Z. I didn't like it and I let you know about it. For the record, I'm letting you know that we had this discussion just so you know about it. Boom. Sent to him. What did he respond? He didn't respond. Now you're in business. You're documenting things. You keep it moving. This email thing saved me at one job. One day, they get keep out all kinds of story. I said, but on such and such day, I sent this email to my supervisor and I told him X, Y, and Z. On such and such day, when they go look, the whole thing, they call that supervisor end up being fired. Because every time there was something, I sent an email. Every time there was something, I sent an email. I document everything. So by the time he started making that story, I said, sir, I'm not going to argue on such and such day. I just want to send mail and I type his name. All of the email that they are copy and paste, the manager, the director, and everything went in line. Email is there for a purpose. And remember, I learned this, credit to my former boss. He said, never type an email that sounds angry. You don't know who is on the opposite side who's going to read that email and how they're going to perceive you.
Okay.
Your email should always remain professional.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. We have been joined now by Mr. Formula Max. Max, your opening statement, and then you'll be able to go into the issues.
Thank you very much for bringing me up on your show tonight. I've always tried to space in my time to regularly appear on your show, but sometimes it becomes difficult when we have competing priorities and other things. So, but it's always nice to be here. A lot of things been happening in and around Liberia, and I can't wait to go through the order and structure of your topics tonight, so we can scrupulously and meticulously discuss those topics with logic and tolerance and free of emotions. Because in the end, it's Liberia that we want to be better, and it's always good to preach those positive messages that will elevate the livelihood of our people, because it's often said that um, a man who's down fear no force. So if the Liberian people are down, we cannot keep bringing them down. because at this point now, all we need to do is just to um, uh, keep preaching those positive messages that will elevate their spirit, because they are the most resilient people that I've ever seen on the continent. And going forward, I've always come to preach the message of prosperity, peace, and thinking, loving, and building Liberia. Thank you.
So, Dongo, I mean, what do you have to say about the Fadiga and AB Chroma? And think about AB suing the Fadiga brothers and him winning the case. But we watched something that happened today. AB went to go eat somewhere. While passing, the Fadiga brothers show him the middle fingers. That got AB irritated. AB rushed to temple justice to order for this guy arrest. But now the Fadiga brother, he went to Monrovia Central prisons without spending 2 hours there. He was making some phone calls. When we look, the bond appear and our son Fadiga were free. What do you make of that before we can be able to go to our next topic?
So there, we already established the fact that there was this internal wrangling, this internal fighting between those two guys. These are two young men, prominent sons of Liberia, whose competence and ingenuity and expertise was highly, and hardly accepted by President Boakai, so that they can help in a sector that Liberia is so challenged with. But unfortunately, there have been some issue. But be as it may, we followed the story about defamation and of character and other things, and he won the case. AB Krumah won the case, and there was this uh, fees damage that needed to be paid by the Fadiga brothers. But today we saw another altercation, which was sad. Um, AB, of all persons, did not really exercise the restraint that many of us thought he would have. But sometimes, emotional men, emotion of a man always tend to cloud the reasoning of most decent men. Sometimes when men become emotional, they do things that just out of line. But be as it may, Liberia is a country of law and order, as we saw today, with the Fadiga brothers being one of the brothers being escorted and taken to court, and afterwards was sent to the Monrovia Central prison. We saw that whether it was a few seconds or even an hour or two, the mere fact that he was taken to the central prison, and then the offense that we are talking about is a biddable offense, and he was bailed out. And I listened to AB that they're still going to do some follow up with the court. But for me, as a Liberian, a young man, that both of them, I've always see them as a bigger brothers and think. I think this thing can be amicably resolved and settled. Fadiga and AB have to sit around the table and talk this out as men, and let this out and let this go. But it was a nice thing that that they showed to the world, they showed to the Liberian people, and AB set a precedent. That was one thing that I really take from that. That this was a precedent that nobody can sit down somewhere, eat your father direct, no fish, and just say something about somebody, and then you think you go with the culture of impunity. The government is trying to erase the culture of impunity. That's what AB said. We're getting rid of the culture of impunity that people can just say anywhere, anyhow, and just defame somebody without having substantial evidence to substantiate that claim. So AB fought a precedent case, and we saw that the judgment went in his favor, and the judge was asking that the Fadiga brother pay for damages in the tune of 1 point something million dollar, $1.6 million in other damages. But be as it may, as a Liberian, I would think that both of them can settle this thing amicably out of the courthouses. And now that the court has already rendered judgment on behalf of AB, he have already set a precedent. And then going forward now, both of them, we know that the Fadiga brother can now raise that $1.6 million in damages. So all we can do right now is to ask both sides to exercise restraint and maturity, sit around the table and have dialogues and then resolve the issue amicably. And that's all I see. Thank you.
All right, let us go now to the next topic. We have to do with the NRR. Let me play you this clip.
But I didn't get anything on you.
So what your name for, Mama?
My name is Rebecca Yale.
Man, Rebecca, how the process like? You came here to get national ID card, right?
Yes, but I not get it yet.
You don't get it yet?
No.
Since when you came here?
I took it June 6th and I'm still coming here.
Wait, I want to understand something. You came here and you took your ID card, you take a picture on June 6th.
Yeah.
Since you take a picture June 6th, you didn't get the ID card yet.
No.
But why you get the ID card yet? What are they saying to you?
That's why I here to go.
Since you take the ID card on June 6th, when was the last time you came back here?
I sent somebody here because from Riverside.
You came from Riverside?
Yes.
And you came here to do your ID card since June 6th?
Yes.
And you get it yet?
Yes.
But are you sure you're going to get it? It's just few minutes up to 5 o'clock now. You think you'll get it today?
Well, I will not get it, but I gave my receipt to somebody to take my ID card from the person.
Okay. Okay. So how much you pay for your ID card?
I pay $5.
$5. Nothing more than $5. You paying LD or you paying US?
I think I $1,000.
1,000. Okay. Anything you want to say to the government? Because the government say very soon now, before you do anything, you will get an ID card. Anything you want to say to your government?
But what I have to say, I'm already happy for you because when you get a certain article, you not even receive money for this. As I learned.
Yeah.
And secondly, we are in the interior when any critical come, when you get certain article, you not benefit too.
All right. Okay. Thank you for talking to us here.
Okay.
Thank you very much for talking to Spoon TV. Let's see if we can talk to folks. As you heard from one of those we just spoke with, she said she took her ID card since the 6th of June and she's here to receive her national ID card. Let's see if we can talk to our own woman here. Hello. How are you, sir?
Yeah, how are you, brother?
Welcome to Spoon TV.
Yeah.
I see you're here. You came to get your national ID card.
Yeah. Ever since you get it. Stay here.
How far your process going on?
Having a receipt. I took it 3 days ago.
Oh, you took the photo 3 days ago.
Yeah. And I have the receipt, and I'm just coming for it.
Okay.
I'm waiting for it now.
Okay. But how's the process like?
It's not bad.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The process is going smoothly, right?
Yeah.
How much did you pay for the ID card?
I paid $5.
$5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But what do you want to say to the authorities with respect to this whole ID card thing?
Oh, well, I just want to say that it is very good for people to take it. Because anywhere you go, or you go in, you got to face problem with it.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for talking to us, eh?
Okay.
All right. So you took your ID card 3 days ago,
Yeah.
and you expected to get it today.
Today, yes.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's a great one. Thank you for talking to us, eh?
Okay.
Let's see if we can talk to our man behind here. Hello, man. How you doing? You want to talk to us? What's your name? I see you here to get a national ID card, right?
Yes.
It's been how long now since you took the photo?
Yeah, I took it on Thursday.
Okay.
I came for it today.
Okay. Are you sure of getting it today?
Yes, because I just carried a receipt up there.
Okay. But how the process like when you come here, you want to get a national ID card, what do you can do? How do you go somewhere, you pay the money first, and then what's the next thing you do? How is the process like?
Though when I came first, the first day they gave me ticket.
Okay.
So let me bring out Anthony. Anthony, this national ID card issue. What do you have to say about it? Is this something that it is good for our democracy, especially for our government, and looking at instead of then they are trying to get rid of something here they are trying to get rid of. So because every citizen of a country need to be having an identification card. So what a passport, or because not everybody that are able to get the money together to get their passport, but when it comes to this, what do you have to say?
You are
Anthony,
muted.
you are muted. You are muted.
Sorry. I support having a national ID card. I one person who always said voter registration card is unnecessary. You don't need a voter registration card. Yes, you have to register to vote, but you don't need a voter registration card. My parent had national ID card. So number days before the war, my parent had national ID card. I was not of age to obtain one, but I have always advocated why Liberia, you know, or what the current administration or previous administration did not advocate for national ID card since post-war, because national ID card is necessary. This is how you know you're a citizen. But the only thing I found troubling is the way in which it was rolled out, and the second, not respecting the national passport. Your passport and your ID, is one or the other. Either you have your passport, you have your national ID card to be able to transact business. To suggest as though the passport is not as important as the ID card, I think that was a mistake on the part of the government. Another thing that I found very troubling was I think the government did not thought it through, did not really do homework of making sure that rolling out this process was gonna be seamless, right? There are gonna be hiccups here and there. There's no process that is perfect, but to the point where they immediately suspend the process. You heard a lady since June 6th. Come on, June 6th she paid for her ID card, got her picture taken, everything, and today what? It's the 23rd. I don't know when that video was taken, but she did not get her ID card until this suspension came about to stop the process. We have infrastructure issue. We had logistic issue. That lady came from as far as River G, my people. Right now in Liberia, to get a national your passport, it's only one ministry, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, that offer that. No other place. The entire nation is depending on one location,
Yeah, they are trying to get rid of that by
right? And
August.
this is not fair to the people. Look,
Yeah, by August they're going to be having one in Grangie there, and then the people
listen,
then from in the southeast. And I come in.
yeah,
Anyone from anyone information, I
yeah,
give you the information now. So by August, they will have one central office in Grangie there,
yeah,
which will
which
be
is a regional office can
yeah,
take care
yeah,
of the
yeah,
southeastern region.
then they will be having one in central Monrovia, we are in central Liberia, which is Bon County.
Bon
That will
County.
be
They
yeah,
can
yeah
also
that
have one in Nimba County.
no. I'm telling you the information that I received.
Okay,
I'm not
that's
telling
cool.
you.
I mean, I was
Yeah.
not aware. That's cool. I
Okay.
appreciate it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. So the point I'm making here is that I support national ID. I'm totally against that voter registration card. Every electoral cycle they have to print. I don't trust the voter registration card to be an identification. I want every citizen to have the Liberian ID card, and if they can afford passport, to have a passport. But the way in which the government wrote it out and the timeline given to say, oh, we will not accept passport, we will not accept any other document unless your national ID card. I just think that it was poorly thought about and poorly executed. They could have done
Okay.
better.
Okay.
Hopefully, with the suspension of this, they can think it through. Again, the government should not be doing things as though they are in a hurry. Where is the emergency here with this ID thing? Take your time, think it through, roll it out, and you'll be good. They should not act as though if you don't have it today or tomorrow, then this administration term will be over. This administration got 5 years left, or 4.5 years left to to do what they need to do. So they should take their time, think things through, be able to roll things out. Yeah, they'll have hiccup here and there. Another thing, the last part is I don't like the fact that this whole ID process has been outsourced to foreigner. I don't like it. It is not good for Liberia. It's a national security risk. I think experts in collaboration with NSA should.
Ben outsourced to foreigner. What do you mean?
Those that processing our national ID card are not Liberians.
Who are they?
The foreigner. The software, those that own that software is not owned by Liberian.
You know. Anyway, go ahead.
If I'm wrong, let me know I'm wrong.
No,
It's
go
not owned by
ahead.
Liberian.
Go ahead. But the software, go ahead. Go ahead.
So, like here in the US, the national ID card or the state ID or
You
the
cannot
national
be
passport
comparing. You cannot be
service.
comparing. You cannot be
Even Ivory
comparing.
Coast. Let me
It
get
cannot
take
be.
our neighbor.
It cannot
Ivory
be
Coast national ID
comparing.
service or the passport is not in the hand of foreigner.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
It's not.
Okay.
Look, national security, we should prioritize our national security. Are there not Liberians who are capable of doing this job?
What job are you talking about?
Processing and printing of the ID cards.
Are there not Liberians doing it?
I'm saying those that hosting the software who are in charge of it, they are not Liberian right now.
It is different thing when you're saying that they also been given to foreigner. Then I ask you a question. Then you say the software. Then I ask you that it is Liberian who have been employed for them to be able to carry on that tax.
So, AB, are you saying on this platform that the software?
No, I'm not saying that the software. I have not done that investigations. I'm not saying that what are that
That's
software,
what we know.
what are the software it is for Liberian, or that software it is Liberian software. I am not here for me to be
AB,
able to
national
lie to our
identification
audience.
card, even our passport, it's not printed by Liberian.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
So again, we need to prioritize this thing. Anything that is a national issue should be hosted, processed, stored by Liberian. We have NSA for a reason. NSA is not just any other thing there. They are there for this kind of purpose. National information to be safeguarded. I mean, we gotta prioritize our information.
Okay. Okay, let be able to bring in my friend and brother Bilai. Sorry, Bilai. What do you have to say when it comes to this uh, national identifications registry?
Well, I think it's a good thing, Anthony. Thank you for scratching some point. I think it's a good thing for every Liberian should have identification, and having a knowledge that is always a unique thing for the process to be accessible. We talk about accessibility. You want to look at how people get their ID card in time and all the business team. But I think always in the process of getting company to do this work, there's a competition. They talk about competitive bidding or competitive process where company come in and get these things. I said it on one of the platform, and I think it's very unique that we educate our people on this. And I have my own personal experience with how I got my ID card, and I'm very disenchanted and disappointed in the process because you cannot pay for an ID card then wait for 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks before you get the ID card. It doesn't make sense. It's something that you should be identified and do sort of other transaction with. But having said that, government policy is always unique before you bring it out to the public. You have some level of education, you give the people change, you want to look at economic modality, you want to look at some business thing before you come out to say there's a timeline to it. It's not bad to get an ID card for all citizens, right? Because it was a mandate from the president backed by executive order, which take effect, right? When you try to put a timeline to it, then it makes it compulsory on every Liberian to get that ID card within a time frame. And I think when people are in rush, they say sometimes when you rush, you cross. So when you're not doing things properly, at times you want to get things done within a time frame that allow mistakes you carry on. But I think the government coming back, having knowing that they are preferences to go back to the drawing board to do some business thing, because I think that communication talk about some administrative reasons. Some of those administrative reasons could be the video you play, right? People not getting their ID card on time. And I mean, AB and Anthony and family, you will agree with me that you don't want to pay for something while you're not getting it. You have to carry on some other transaction,
Yeah,
especially when the government.
I strongly believe that it's also be a system wherein when you pay, and as soon as a picture is taken, the ID card get printed out ready.
Exactly, that's how it's supposed to
In
be.
you know,
But you looking at some challenges too. You don't want to forget about the kind of a poor internet system we got in Liberia. One, you don't want to look at electricity. Two, you must take all these factors into consideration. We want these things to happen overnight, but we we don't have these the kind of a things that should be in place to get it done within a time frame. Anthony, yeah, family, yeah, we can go at DMV today, do national ID card or whatsoever ID card. We get it right away. We get it right away because why? Everything is in place. Because there's the things I want to say on this platform. And there's not only something that is restricted to this administration. Over the past period of time, we kept doing these things. Government comes, government goes, they kept doing these things. You understand, you be in opposition, you understand that this is the problem. Identify the problem. At the back, you got all the kind of a solution. But when it comes to government, solution lost. And you become confused. Or sometimes you do these policies because of fame. Because I've always discussed policies upon policies in Liberia that has been shown to Liberian people. It's about things. It's about how the people can praise it, right? So I think it's a good thing when you go back in a short terms. You want to look at what is the short term goal for certain policies. What is the long term goal for it? How will it be effective on the life of people within a time frame? How it will not be. Then you come out. But I think that a lot of education we do on this national identification issue. I plead with the government to get us an extension. One, let the people got we got national TV, we got national radio. Let the people got more education. What is it important to get this in a time frame? Because electricity, you cannot argue that electricity in Liberia is at the peak, a certain level. So
there is a time frame attached to this voter identification. I thought that it just also be the national voter registration, identification, national identification registry. So I am thinking that this registry will be there for your ID card. Anytime you want your ID card, you just go there, you pay your
Guys,
money,
come
you
on. I'll
get
check you
the
out of work. I'll come back on.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
now,
I was thinking that how it is.
yeah, I'm stand to be corrected, right? I think there's a time for or an emergency attached to it. So when you do that as a government, you put everybody in certain brush. And one of the things there is you talk about if even there's not a time frame, right? But there's a mandate that was attached to that ID card issue. You cannot carry on any, I think, commercial, banking, financial transactions without that ID card. You have to get that ID card. I think that there was a memo put out. I don't know which entity. I think that was from the CBL or the NIL. One of those entities did that memo that you should have that ID card before you carry on any transaction. I think they did a joint statement just recently. You was reading on your platform concerning
Yeah.
lifting of that memo, that restriction. So when you do that, you attach an emergency and you attach a time frame for people to get it because people want to carry on a transaction into the country to get some things done. But I think it's a good thing for everyone to have the national identification card. So I don't want people arguing. There's another argument about how it was done. Government go with consultation. If you're not there, you have to know that government is collaboration. Entities within government collaborate, and I mean there are functions attached to them that they need to do. It doesn't mean when the presidency this executive order, the president cannot mandate them to rethink or reconsider some of the executive order with some. There are exceptions to every executive orders. Let's get that in the public.
Okay. Okay. Mr. Famala?
Well, thank you very much. Previous speaker I have said a lot, but I just want to make few modification. And I saw that you've been posting Henry Yago. You've been saying a lot of stuff in the comment section. So I wish you could give him a link so he can come up and all open the writing he's doing, or he can come up here and push the argument. But be as it may, I don't know whether it is in the United States that my brother was talking about going to the DMV and taking your photo ID and they giving it to you the same day. I don't know. I don't know about that. I know that they will give you a flag receipt. They will give you a flag receipt. I don't know which part of the United States is that, but I know that they will give you a flag receipt and they'll give you they'll give you this copy that you can hold on to, and they will tell you that your original license or your ID will come in the mail within 30 days. That's the time period they're going to give you. Say you'll see it in the mail within 30 days. But I'm not going to justify it for the fact that this national identification ID card, it is more or less for security reason, and because of the security features that ID card has on it, the government cannot hastily give it to people. That's why they said they give you, after taking it, they say after 3 days you come back, because there are certain things they have to make sure that they are out on it. They have to do cross-checking and make sure it is, and the person, the name, and other things is everything is correct before they can issue it. But AB, nowhere in the world that the government pay for your national ID card. And there's too many entitlement is the reason why we Liberians were not going anywhere. You saw a representative saying here, Representative me guess call her name, Mama D, saying the government should make it free for our people, and then because the voter registration card is given free, so the government should make this free. Then I asked, have she paid for anybody in her constituency to go get the ID card? How many persons she paid for already? Because she's part of the government. How many persons has she helped from her district to go and get the ID card free? How many persons she paid for? So let us just stop with all these bastardizing of the government and saying that it is important for all citizens to get the national identification card, because you have to be recognized, and because we know that we live in an age where people can be robbed, and emergency can happen, people can travel. But in the absence, like now in the United States, if you have your driver license, you can travel from any states. You can travel from state to state with your driver license. It's a form of identification, right? They tell you, say you should come with a form of identification to the airport. For security reasons, they will have to check to make sure that
and in fact, my driver lesson, I can be able to leave the country to be able to enter in Canada. I can be able to go to Mexico with my driver lessons.
Yeah. So you see that? So it's important. But wait now, the only problem that we all can admit and we all can agree to, that the process, the way in which they lay it out, are there some problems that need to be rectified? Yes. And that's the reason why you have a government that listen. And when this issue came about and the Liberians were complaining, some Liberians were complaining, the government said, okay, let's put her to the process, let's go back to the drawing board. That's what responsible government does. Put her to the process, let's go do the litigation so that we can make sure that everything that have not been done correctly, we go back and do it, and let's do it good, so that the noise can go down. Can we decentralize it? So I saw somebody leaving from all the way Sano, somebody leaving from all the way River Sets to come all the way to Monrovia just to get a national ID. It shouldn't be like that. are there ways that the government can make sure that this be decentralized, or even put a partition into block, that how they do the council meet, put it into block system, so people in the block go to this center and make sure you do your process. So a minimize cost, because all the things you see, you want to reduce the heavy burden on the shoulder of the citizenry. You see what I'm saying? So because this is the responsibility of the government to discharge these basic services to all citizens, but not all service that the government render to the citizens should be free. And the ID card is $5. People can afford it. Some people can afford it. The government did not increase it.
Vast majorities of the citizens can afford $5.
Yeah, they accepted it, and that's why people government brought it, but they see $5 and they accepted it, and it keep going. So it is just material cost and maintenance and other things. You see what I'm saying? So everybody's supposed to get it. But the argument that people saying, oh, it is not enough, and sometimes if the government do not put time scale on some of these things, some people will not even want to get it at all. People want to be passing around all over in that country there. In the end, when sometimes their identification also help. For instance, when somebody get involved in an accident and the person, God forbid, is not, an accident is something that just happened, but you get involved in an accident and you have that identification card on you, people can easily identify who the person is, and and where the person from, and and can get in contact with immediate family members. So it has its own importance.
Let us be able to take our first call. Kota, what is your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Alexander. I'm told there's some call for support this morning. If we are listening to the two gentlemen, what they're saying, it is true. And our government is, is not ready for the process. As I speak now, my wife is on her way to go to the site, because according to them, only 60 people they can take a day. So when you want to get your ID card, you have to be there by either 5 a.m. So my wife is on her way now. Oh yes, I stand to be corrected. My wife lives in Johnsonville. Yesterday she could not go because the site that she went, they will already get the 60% they need. So assuming in one district where they get 45% live there. So what 60% from now to August, they will not get it no more. So if the government really wanted to generate revenue, they're supposed to get a machine. After you put your information, you take your picture, you get your ID card. Like our little organization, I'm a Secretary General for the United Southwest Association. During our convention, we got our little machine. I got it here to my house here. After the people take the picture, right, they will get the ID card to them. So if the government really want to make money, they're supposed to make it thing fast. Not only that, when you take the ID card today, they're telling you it will take 21 days. That's why I was telling my wife. I said, assuming if I take the ID card today and I get money tomorrow and I need to do business, so I will wait that 21 days before I receive my money. So the people are not ready, AP.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, Lord. All right, so let us be able to transition. So our next talking point about JMB visit to the ECOWAS meeting. Let me be able to bring it up.
Percent of the people do agriculture, and besides that, we're not forgetting about other areas, but agriculture is important, and we have the advantage. We still have the largest reserve forest in this region, and our people are involved in, and they got to eat. The world has to eat. So we need to produce food that we eat and export. That's where the opportunities are in terms of agribusiness, in terms of even manufacturing. Are you talking about agriculture? It's number one. That's why under the arrest agenda, agriculture is first and foremost.
The President, Sylvester Chirople, work for Spoon that work. All of these agreements, they are very good and unique to Liberia. But is there any timeline for implementation for all of these agreements, arrangement with these companies or international partners?
You know very well that when you take over a country, especially like our country, You have to restore donors conference, your partners. You got to open up opportunities by confidence building. And we are getting there. I mean, you can see that we are now documenting. People are now signing up. So the timeline is now. Things are moving. We talk about free trade. When you go to the borders, the immigration squeezing you, the securities are squeezing. We have to unlock those opportunities. Got a free trade means you give the people the opportunity to go through things in the right way, in a speedy way. People go to the borders, they run into a lot of problems. In fact, these are the issues that we're talking about. Give the people a chance to move around freely, to do business, bring goods, carry goods to that country. That's our emphasis. That's what we mean about unlocking opportunities for all of our commodities that come in and out of the country.
Thank you, Mr. President.
What you make of the visit, Mr. Famla? Well, what are you insinuating?
Well, it's a very good thing to always have our president going on some of these major engagements, because as you listen to the president being very eloquent and emphatic about the bilateral conversation he had, meeting, talk about not only peace and reconstruction. He talked about trading and agriculture, which is the number one thing on the arrest agenda. He said that Liberia stand at a very advantageous position when it comes to that particular aspect, because we have one of the single largest, biggest reserve forests. So we can take opportunities, we can take advantage of these opportunities and go to the soil, grow what we eat, export some, and raise money for some. So Liberia um, um, has made a significant stride in the entire sub-region when it comes to maintaining the fence and making sure you are restoring confidence again. Especially, people never trusted our government. We know what happened in the past. The government lost its team among the Committee of Nations. So Liberia is restoring its lost image, and that's exactly what the president said. We are getting back on track. The time frame for this is not numerical. We cannot be exact to tell you when is exactly this is going to happen, but it is already in the process. That's what he said. We are already in the process of doing so, and the effect is is on all Liberians to ensure that the free access of people in and out of our borders, and the too many border restriction where you find border agents squeezing people, not on the basis that they actually are searching them for the right stuff to come and leave, but they are also searching them to take something out of them, squeezing them, and it's impeding trade between countries. So he's saying there's something that they're working on to ensure that they minimize that, to have the free flow of trade between both countries. And so that's a welcoming step, and we look forward to more good thing on some of those visits that the president go on, and we want to see the trickle down effects among our people, but restoring our confidence again among those community of nation, and giving Liberia right image out there is something that all Liberians should be proud of. And now we have a country that have a president that everywhere he goes, people honor him, people listen to him, and people recognize that yes, Liberia again has a president. Thank you.
Yeah, Mr. Sorry, you are muted.
Yeah, thank you. And I listen to the president. Very unique point he scratched when he talk about strengthening our relationship and gaining confidence. Over the past period of time, you and myself have been informed about how Liberia has been, disrespected. You got to mute, brother. Has how Liberia has been disrespected in the past when you talk about it on the diplomatic front. And you understand that Liberia have not been represented in most of the diplomatic meetings. Due payment has been something that we've been facing. You listen to the deputy minister from the foreign ministry. He scratched a lot of point about Liberia not being involved into most of the meeting that could bring a lot of things to Liberia that we overlook over the past period of time. And I think it's a unique thing for the president to go on this traveling. And he said it take a time to actually get things done because you have to get the confidence of donor. There's a lot. It's one thing to go to donor and please talk about how you want investor, how you want this sector to boom in your country. Uh, it's another thing for them to gain that confidence of you to come in your country. So I think for our country to be on a stand, the people have to gain that confidence. And one of the things about that trip, about this particular session of the ECOWAS, it brings a lot of leaders together to discuss different economic modalities, what you need from your country, and what you can give in return. You look at our region, there's a lot of discussion around our region. You talk about uh, tolerates, you talk about, and there's a lot of things surrounding our security, right? If you have a president going to these kind of meeting, I think it's a very unique thing. And I want to say that on this platform, congratulations to Malabio on his ascendancy at the chairmanship of ECOWAS.
Oh, really?
We want to believe that ECOWAS should have some transformations. ECOWAS should have another trajectory. How do you fight for one? Because I've had some dissenting opinion or observation on how ECOWAS proceeded in the region. Because the thing about just having an organization, you only seen it because when the country they have the dispute and they do not recognize when did that dispute started is a whole problem because people have this judgment over the past about how democracy has been and into their country has been hijacked into their country. You and myself can discuss that and have that conversation for another day. But a lot of African countries, especially with the fund itself within the ECOWAS, there's been disenchanted how elections has been run. They channel somebody's communication out there to ECOWAS. You cannot see them carry on interventions until there's a dispute. There is said to be coup d'etat and other business things happening to undermine democracies. That's the only time you see ECOWAS begin. I've had my disagreement with ECOWAS, but I think I want to believe that this leadership of my bill should bring some transformations in ECOWAS, looking at disputes, looking at disagreement, our attention to disagreement in political disagreement in country from a move and resolving angle. Do not allow these things to happen at a certain point. Then you want to resolve it when another when a leader or when the army take over, you want to come and resolve it. Then it becomes very difficult for you to resolve that. You can see that we saw that way
Burkina Faso, we saw that with Malay, we saw that with Guinea, we saw that other region, Chad as well, Niger, you can name most of the country that has been into the Hulu battle. But I think it's a unique thing for us to have an organization that will strengthen these things. Liberia being part of that is a proud thing. Liberia going to these sections is a very unique thing. And when you want to believe a lot of traveling the president been doing, maybe you and myself agree on most of you traveling, and we talk about the benefit, but we want the president and the government to mostly push forward, let the trickle down effect kind of on our people. Because at the end of the day, don't forget, we'll come out the platform to say what are some of the things that you talk about that other trade, this trade, and the other trade. We try to remind you, right? Because this is about people. It's not just about the president going, but it's about what our people can get. I think Labro got something too. We should educate our people. Maybe we talk about the youth center that had to be built in Liberia. I think that was in Burkina Faso. I listened to the minister talking about the deputy minister talking about it the last time on one of the platforms. The Liberia gained the spot of the youth center to be built in Liberia. I think all of the assessment were made and everything is on course. I think they have to come out and put the youth center. I think there should be another meeting, last meeting before implementation take place. I think that's a applause for Liberia. I think we went for
Yeah.
another organization where they went for another spot, but looking at all the bases and other country wanted it to, they got it. But I think it's a good thing for our president to go to these kind of conferences or meeting.
All right, we're having Sam here. Sam, how you doing?
Not bad. How you guys doing there?
Yeah, we're doing good. We are about to go. So, what do you have to say?
Yeah, I will start from the first topic. I listened to Anthony Gay, and to some extent, even in as much as he disagree, Anthony Gay was right. He is showing something that he shouldn't be showing at this time with the level of position he have held in the country. I can't understand why he even went to Southeast, to the central prison to do what? Why he even decided to put himself in a position where he's going to have argument with one of the Fadigas. Now that's going to be something that they can use against him. And another thing, I also got problem with the fine. Let me tell you, AB, the purpose of the law is reasoning. You can't tell me just for someone tarnishing reputation like $1.6 million. Come on, man, we're not in the West. We can't. Sometimes the law is reasoning.
I mean, the law is reasoning. That's the reason the law decided. The law is reasoning. That is the reason the law decided for him to be able to charge the Fadiga 1.6.
Nah, that was to me. I think that is an unjustifiable amount. And another thing there, I let what one of the brothers say, and you see, that's one of the biggest problems we get in Liberia. There's no standard operational procedures in majority of the ministries. It's not there. If it is there, people are not following it. And sometimes these are the little things that cause problem. Sometimes I tell people in Liberia, the people in the West here, they don't have two heads on their shoulder. They didn't get how you call it different liquid with their sexual or fluid with their sexual water and blood running through their system. It's the decision and the collective good of everyone that they put first. Now, AB said no one should come into his office with arm. If you knew that was a temporary policy or that was a policy, discuss that. In as much as you are the boss, those guys, they are your deputies. But AB, one of the biggest problems we get in our country, we do not have mutual respect. AB, in the West, you and your boss will stay and talk. In as much as he's your boss, he's talking to you, there is that mutual respect. We don't have it in Liberia. Everybody just talk to everybody and anybody anyhow. It's not right. These are some of the reasons why things can spark up. So AB really need to do some serious work when it comes to emotional control and stuff. And for me personally, I think that amount is just way too much. At least there should be a cap put on. If someone tarnishes a repetition, 10,000, 15,000. Nobody will be stupid enough to pay 15,000 for the first time. Nobody pay 15.
It does not have a fixed amount that is charged.
I agree with you, my brother. That law, they can still pass a law that will cap it, my brother. That man law, that man can change law. That not someone else can change it or someone else can make it. That man can make law.
I think you have to talk to your representative or your senator.
No, that's what I'm saying. Because take for example now, and Eddie has reached to a point now he's bitter because the Fadigas were part of the reason why he lost his job. That could be another means of vengeance. And the Fadiga as well could be angry that Eddie made them lose their job. So they use that means to lie or to do whatever because we consider it not to be a lie because they couldn't prove it in the court. As a means of vengeance. So sometimes we have to find the little things like I listen to Councilor Gu. He said in the West, people are allowed to discuss case because people are elected, they have some level of tolerance and education. They have some level of self-control and they can be able to discern between right and wrong. So they can discuss these things. But in country like Liberia, they can't pass that law because the country is still illiterate and there are certain things you don't want out there in the public. The public sentiment comes in, then everybody on the follow comes in and they create chaos. The law is reasoning. So if someone know that that person did this to me, I won't get back at them. In as much as they did this, I'm going to go to court. I find $10 million lawsuit. Why on the God's giving earth you're going to get $1.6 million from those guys? Even in America, let's be honest, man. Sometimes the law is reasoning. That's one thing there. The next thing you guys are talking about that ID card issue. I'll be honest with you, AB. Sometimes I will go back to what I was saying again. The way we Liberians can do things is part of the major reason why we don't achieve things or we don't achieve things on time. The government made a terrible mistake. I used to work with a company.
What was the mistake that the government made?
That's why I'm coming to outline for you. I used to work with a company who was transitioning from the WMS to the JDA. I don't know if anyone worked with the JDA system before.
You were working for a company. You were working for a company where? In Liberia?
Yeah, my man, not Liberia. I say, man, don't. If you are thinking, man, I'm talking about here.
No, but
in Australia, okay? In Australia, answer your question. So when we were transitioning, they train local staff. They bring in the expert, train local staff. They train us because I was one of the workplace coaches. When they train us, the first thing we did was we tested the system to go live. When we test the system, it point out a lot of problems. And the expert came. We worked on the problems. We tested it for the second time. And the problem was very minimal. I think only one or two, and those ones were human error and lack of personnel. And they knew that the system was okay. Now, what happened there was the problems were identified and solutions to the problem were found. Two, people were already aware that there is a new system that's going to be introduced or going to be implemented. Psychologically, people were prepared for it. Did our government do these things? No. Now, every time you're doing something in our country, some people, somewhere, somehow in our country see it as a means of chopping. I gave you an example in Lofa. The team that went in Lofa charging the people 2,000, they said because they went to Vondiama or where, they're charging the people extra $1,000 for their transportation. What sort of nonsense is that? It doesn't make sense. If the government would have asked for experts, you don't even need to outsource this program. This program could have gone through the GSA. In fact, Eddie, you know what the program could have done for Liberia? This program could have helped Liberia when it comes to census. That's one. Two, it would have helped Liberia when it comes to the voting age. Three, it would have helped Liberia with data information about people that live in the country. Now, this is what they could have done. Okay? They could have divided that whole program into 4 or 5 stages. Stage 1, they deal with Monrovia and Margibi. Stage 2, they deal with Lofa. Stage 3, they deal with Nimba and Bon County. Stage 4, they deal with the Southeast. And then they come down now to Habel. Now, let me say to Buchanan, they could have 2 teams. Maybe somebody thinks these machines.
So
you get
what happened to Grand Cape Man and Babalu?
Thank you. Thank you for reminding me. That could be another stage there. That's why I say 5 or 4 stages. Thank you for reminding me. They could have one team. Now, the first stage they could roll out could be in Monrovia. Because that's where you got the dense population. And then the best place to start from the schools that people go to register. Allocate dates. The first thing that thing will do, look at what he's saying. Only 60 people can register a day. That caller is not the first person saying it. Now, could it be? No, not you. The callers. I listen to Mema Briggs. I listen to other callers regarding the issue. That's why I gave you what happened in Lufa from Liberia. There were people calling. If they know that this machine can only take 60 people a day, then what they need to do, they need to bring in more of these machines. That's problem number one. If they will have run out the system and test it, they will have known that is a big no-no. That's one. Two, they could have allocate dates to voting centers. The easier way to get a thing done. All those in District 1, go to all of the voting centers in District 1. We will be there from Monday to Friday. That is from the 1st to the 5th. All the other people remain in your district. Every time you're making a move, you announce it. If possible, put out the calendar ahead of time. Do publicity. That woman will not leave from Grange or Swedru to come here, to come Monrovia. The people now will not leave from Lofa or wherever to go to another location. Now, when you do that, you minimize the people that are registering a day. You minimize the intake and you improve efficiency. That's one thing you do for you too. You'll be able to zoom the registration. Okay. Another thing you will do there, you'll be able to know which of the areas that you need more work and which are the areas that you need less work. But this thing, I don't know how they roll it out. Maybe they brought in less manpower and they just grab 5 people, y'all go Lofa. 2 people, y'all go Cayman. Listen, Eddie, that caller I just called. If you follow the radio all the time on OKFM, you're actually reason with Mema Briggs. The only player I disagree with her is that free team. We need to get out of their free government, free mentality in that country.
Thank you.
We need to get out of it. And the government could have planned this thing in a way that it will have served the government a lot more purpose, and the government will have gotten data. This would have even helped them to get rid of some of those foreigners that come into the country to register and vote.
Thank you.
The government could have used this data for so many reasons. Ghana got similar ID card like this. The Ghanaians don't use their passport to travel around. They use that ID card. Every opportunity we get in Liberia, we just treat it like, I don't care. Everybody wants shopping. Because I bet you some people getting kicked back from the process. It's so unfortunate, man.
Thank you.
It's so much unfortunate.
Thank you.
Thanks for the time, Eddie.
Your closing statement, my friend and brother. Sorry. Now, love Bria to bring family. Love Bria to bring family. Love bring family. Yeah, and then myself will be last. Yeah, Mr. Family. Your closing statement.
So this is how we come to an end. King Charles once said, "The best guest is the person who knows when to leave." So, well, what a great show! You know, I know there are other topics, but because of time, we cannot discuss them. But the previous caller, the guy who just dropped the line, was very clear. Yeah, Liberians will have to stop that free thing. I told you about it. I said, Mama D says some things. There's too many entitlement.
Mema Briggs.
Mema Briggs, sorry, Mema Briggs, she said, oh, it should be free, but you go ask on how many portions you pay for in your own district, you can say. So, why it is true that there is a lot more need to be done to correct the error, but we still have to encourage our people that this is of our own national interest. Every true Liberian should have a national identification. It is not only in Liberia it's done, because there are so many things that is involved. Look, you cannot have a national identification that has security features and other things on it, and you expect it to take it today and get it today. Nobody should tell you that one. Even in America, it's not happening. They give you a 30-day period. They'll give you a temporary something that you can hold and use, but it's not something that is guaranteed. They will tell you that your ID card or whatsoever card might come in the mail. You should look in the mail between in a 30 days period. So just keep it open like that, because there are other modifications they need to do. They have to verify. They have to check and make sure that everything is correct on it, because sometimes they try to minimize error. You see what I'm saying? So what a great show, AB. I will always try to squeeze in time so that we can always come
Yeah,
and
please
and
try.
contribute our own quota to our country. Thank you very much, and let's have a good rest of our day.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry.
Oh, great show always. Great platform, great conversation, great callers, and everyone in the comment section. I think it's always a good thing. Your interactions are always great. I mean, I've always said it's all about Liberia. And the last caller talked about something I want to clarify. You can clearly see sometimes when people got sentiment towards certain issues. You talk about, I don't acknowledge the fact that AB roaming all around the media. For me, I've had my disagreement with that. You want a case? Come on, stick to yourself, brother. Forget about the media. Why should you go to the central prison or all these things? I have my own disagreement with AB. He has to slow down. You already won the case, dudes. Keep a big brother. Keep the anger. Slow down with the anger. The guy will pay your money. You talk about law being reason. Law is not feeling. The court within it reason talk about 1 point something million. It's not only about
1.6.
1.6. It's not only about defamation of capital. It's about some business trauma the brother went through. It's about some things that he lost in the past that talk about his business. You know that people let go of that brother business because they said he was in drugs? Yeah. So when you talk about law of reasoning, I think you should know the reasonability come with some of these things, right? I think the final verdict or the judgment was read on one of the platforms, and I think the brother should go to and look at it. I'm not in support of AB being all around. That AB slow down. You already won these brother. You too above them. Everybody knew their fight against you was all about just saying what they want to say, right? And the brother talk about the issue about somebody not working in somebody's office. You can talk to your boss. You can do that. But I mean, if your boss say go out, you won't have disagreement. Your brother go out. I've had my own disagreement with how the both of them did not handle that issue
Yeah.
responsibly to have not gotten to that level. But I think we should acknowledge the both side areas. Sometimes to be fair to this conversation, we talk about the national identification card, good things. Let people forget about, like my brother said, let people forget about the free thing. Sometimes when thing is free, people don't value it. You know that? Yeah, people don't value it. So let government go down the drawing table and rethink, reach strategy as to how they can bring this. But a family, you keep saying this thing. In Philadelphia, PA, you go today, you get your ID card today, brother. Every state is not the same. Sometimes correct yourself on these things.
Yeah, even my state, Minnesota.
Even
Also,
Minnesota, you get your ID card today,
yeah,
brother.
yeah,
You don't have to
go
get
in
30-day
today.
period. I don't know how your state were, because in these United States there are different laws, there are different policies as to how they wrong their states. But yeah, you go for it today, you get it today, brother. Maybe obsessionally, maybe only the driving lesson, they will say, okay, come tomorrow or day after tomorrow, because we have to do some things. They have to do some updating, because when you replacing your ID card with driving lesson, they have to update it. So they will tell you, go and come tomorrow, they get your receipt, or you come tomorrow. But your national ID, you get it today. So I think it's a good conversation, all about education. Sometimes we slide along the way, forgive us for sliding. It's about Mama Liberia. Say your own, very profoundly, very serious, so as to get the Mama Liberia. Thank you, brother AB, for all we have here. It's a pleasing pleasure to be here.
Yeah, thank you so much. But let me play something here.
Yes, let me remind you, Africa remains attractive. Why is Africa so attractive? Throughout the ages, it has always been attractive. It was attractive to the Portuguese and the Spaniards, but I'm not going to say that. It was attractive to the Arabs, but I'm not going to say that. It was attractive to the Jews, but I will not say that. What I'm going to say that is attractive again. It is so attractive